Thanks for staying with In Your Interest. India's defense history has seen Tejas jet delays. It's seen engine dependency issues. Can AMCA break that pattern? Are we building a jet engine or are we building an ecosystem for the future of this Atmanirbhar Bharat? Take a look at this. For decades, we have heard about delays in defense production. We have heard about how our fighter jet programs often run years, if not decades, behind schedule. But now there is a major shift that's happening. The government has decided that the future of our skies will not just be built by state-run agencies alone. For the first time, India is looking to the private sector to build its fifth-generation stealth fighter, the Advanced Medium Combat Aircraft, AMCA. A report in a national daily reveals that the Defense Research and Development Organization has officially shortlisted 3 major contenders to build this prototype of this jet. Tata Advanced Systems has submitted a solo bid. A second bid has come from a consortium of L&T and BEL, and a third group involving Bharat Forge, BEML, and Data Patterns has also entered the race. The plan is ambitious. The government wants these prototypes ready by 2028, maximum 2029, with the first flight scheduled shortly after. If all things go well, the target is to induct these jets into the Indian Air Force by 2035. These prototypes are expected to be built with government funding, and the plan includes producing over 125 fifth-generation fighters for the Indian Air Force. The final decision on manufacturing rights will come after evaluating the prototypes. Now, the AMCA is designed as a stealth fighter for air superiority. We're talking ground strikes, electronic warfare, led by the Aeronautical Development Agency under the DRDO. It aims to replace the aging fleets like the Sukhoi Su-30 MKI over time. Its stealth features focus on low radar cross-section and super cruise capability, but key challenges include developing stealth materials, integrating these avionics, and handling aerodynamics. Supply chain gaps and the maturity of the ecosystem are also prime concerns. However, past delays in programs like the HAL Tejas have raised questions about meeting these timelines. Take a look at the engine front. The AMCA still depends on foreign technology despite efforts towards self-reliance. The Mark 1 prototypes will use America's GE F414 engines under a license deal with the HAL, but critical hot section technology and intellectual property remain under US control. But for the Mark 2, a proposed $7 billion co-development deal with France's Safran promises full technology transfer and a shared IP. An indigenous engine with 110 to 125 kilonewton thrust is unlikely to be certified before 2037. High-end semiconductors for avionics are still largely imported, whilst the Uttam AESA Mark II radar and BEL developed display and avionics suite will power the sensor systems. In the meantime, the 114 Rafale jets under the medium multi-role fighter aircraft program serve as a strategic hedge. The big questions that we must ask tonight: can private players like Tata and L&T succeed where state-run agencies have struggled with delays for years? Is a 2035 induction realistic for a fifth-generation fighter jet when we have never built one before? And will relying on American engines for the first phase compromise our strategic autonomy in a situation of conflict? With me on the broadcast, Major General Rajan Kochar, defense and geopolitical expert. And when you talk about AMCA, there's nobody better to talk to. Group Captain V.N. Jha, former Joint Director, DRDO and aerospace expert, with us also on the broadcast. General Kochar, given India's past defense production delays, and we all know about it, is 2035 induction and that timeline, is it realistic? What are your opinion on that? Is it realistic or is it optimistic, bordering on ambitious?
Kabir, first of all, I must compliment you on the wonderful narrative you actually presented. Because
that's the entire In Your Interest team, sir. Let me bring them into the fray as well. Over to you.
Okay, compliments. So the first thing is that let's first understand our own capabilities.
Yeah.
What we can make in India, what we can have indigenously done, And are we dependent on this project on some outside countries? Let's be very, very sure. I mean, it's no point patting your back right now. But one thing positive is there. We are moving from the public sector to the private sector.
Yeah.
A private sector is more responsive, more forthright, and uh, they have time-bound schedules. So if uh, uh, if I may like, I would like to analyze these private sector agencies, that what they can contribute to the AMCA project. The first is the Tata Advanced Systems. It
Yeah.
brings in supply chain credibility and focused commitment. So we have a very time-tested organization.
Okay.
It is the LE, Larsen and Toubro, and the Bharat Electronics combined has a very balanced system and engineering profile. So uh, I think that's a plus point.
Okay.
And third is the Bharat Forge and the BEML. Uh, their data patterns, and I have actually seen how Bharat Forge has been working. And in terms of structural manufacturing strength and niche systems, they have expertise available. But none of them have an experience on fighter jets, on manufacture of the fighter jets. So
That's
I
a fair
think
point.
the challenge, see, this 2035, I'm not a soothsayer.
Yeah.
I'll be very happy if it happens in 2035. But I have my own apprehensions, because we are still dependent on
Okay.
it. Like, you can repair every part of the body, but you can't do a heart transplant. And that heart transplant is your jet engine.
That's a
And
great analogy. You're absolutely right, General. Let me bring in Group Captain here. Talking about that heart, the heart of the jet, the engine. Group Captain, from your own expertise as a joint director of the DRDO, you're an aerospace expert yourself. If the engine IP is not fully sovereign, does AMCA truly qualify as a strategic autonomy? And if foreign collaboration, there's a parallel study with Rolls-Royce, Safran, and the IP tech. This collaboration, is it a bridge to self-reliance, or is this going to be a permanent crutch later on?
Kabir, I must compliment you because you have put a single word into my mouth, which is going to sort out a lot of problems.
Okay.
When we design and develop Tejas, we had a lot of problems because from a screw and spring till the everything, and the entire part of the airframe, the entire avionics, gear system, everything had to be certified. And you have given, lastly, you had spoken a word called analogy. In certification, in military aircraft, I have had the experience that whatever we design and develop, we have to take it for the certification and through a very stringent system called CEMILAT, Center for Airworthiness of Military Aircraft. In that, there is a RCMA, there is a regional, certification agency for military aircraft. So this aircraft too, AMCA will have to go through the regional RCMA certification or CEMILAT certification.
Okay.
But once we have developed Tejas, now remember the same landing gear, similar airframe, similar, the entire avionics system, what we call it a 4.5 generation avionics.
Yeah.
So, lot of things will go through the analogy because it is already certified and performing absolutely fine into the other aircrafts. So always remember that even the screw that we put into the in the prefixation of the airframe, wings, or anywhere in the
Yeah.
body,
Yeah.
that has already been certified. So every such component, which is nearly 30%, is already certified. And when you develop a new aircraft, AMCA, remember AMCA is not a concept of the mind. It had the draft OR and QR worked out long back by Indian Air Force. It had the PDR, preliminary design review, in November 20.
Yeah.
It had a CDR That is a comprehensive design review in way back in December 23. It had got the approval of the CCS and approved initiative in 2024. So all these have happened. Now the body, that is the crux of the things. The entire body in the wind tunnel, it has gone through the entire process of the high speed jet, how it passes through. It has already gone through. There's already a prototype. This is a scale prototype, mind you.
Yeah,
Scale
yeah, yeah.
prototype you have seen in the hangars of the HL. So all these have happened. Now it is only that scale has to be boosted up the complete size of it. That has to happen. So I'm glad now there are two agencies, or even in the future another few agencies will be coming up there, out of which Tata Material, we have got the full confidence that they will
But
be able
Group
to do
Captain,
it.
5 to 7 years, can 5 prototypes and full operational clearance realistically be achieved in this compressed 5 to 7 years of flight? And are we compressing timelines at the risk of, capability gaps?
Yes, there is challenge. There is going to be challenge. There is no denial about it, because when we make the entire aircraft, in which there will be certain certifications, or the not only certification, even the flight. When we
Yeah.
are looking at it, it will be with the analogy, but engine is a something which we have to work out. But I'm very sure that since the TOT has already been signed, not TOT, the agreement for
Yeah,
414
yeah, yeah.
engine has already been signed. So, and it is going to be produced here. It is going to be assembled, come produced here. So I'm sure the initial few dozens of the engines should not have any problem. But the thing is, now Safran coming into the view.
Yeah,
Remember,
yeah.
the movie is doing something, he must be having something in his mind. Now, if we develop an engine of a thrust of 120 or 140 kilonewton, that means Safran also is certified. It's many engines. There is one engine of 97 kilonewton. There is one engine of 140 kilonewton. These are already certified, flying in something. We only have to adapt all entire interface for the Tejas or for AMCA. That is the only thing that has to be done,
Okay,
and it will
okay.
need a very high timeline. I'm giving you the catch area where it takes time.
So you're
Once
essentially saying that it's realistically possible. It is possible.
it is
Whether there
possible.
are risks in those capability gaps, that's something totally different. We'll come to that later. But at the forefront, it's absolutely possible. But General Kochhar, there is the China threat that we have to look at. China is ramping up their J-20 production. Pakistan is modernizing with these Chinese platforms. Can India afford further delays in the 5th-gen aircraft? China's J-20 production is accelerating. I'm reading some figures here. The Indian Air Force squadron strength is below the sanctioned levels. You earlier said if it happens by 2035, you'd be happy. But isn't 2035 strategically a little too late already?
Uh, See, Kabir, I would not like to comment what the group captain has said. I want to be slightly realistic.
Okay.
But this AMCA project has been with the HAL for, I don't know, more than 1 or 2 decades.
Yeah.
Now, why has it not taken off? If we had everything with us, the Tejas was happening, even Tejas aircraft. How many have we been able to manufacture in 1 year against the targets which have been laid down? You see, it is very, very easy to get into technicalities and all this. Let's be realistic. Tejas, we have not been able to execute the project the way we wanted to do it. AMCA, lying with the HAL for number of years, nothing has happened. And it is now we are waking up. And why actually we are waking up is we are down to 29.5 squadrons, and we had to resort to 114 Rafale aircraft now, which also will come over a period of 10 years. We don't have many options right now because we are trying to adopt a multi-pronged approach. Rafale bhi aa jayega. Sukhoi upgrades will also take place because in this interim period, already your MiG-21s have been phased out. Your Jaguars will also get phased out in the next 10
Yeah.
years.
Okay. That's a credible
So
point.
you are going to have a serious problem of numbers. And when you have,
Fair enough.
like, as a military man, I would like to say that when you have to look at two fronts and ensure that close air combat air patrol is also looked after, close air support is also looked after, and offensive air operations are also looked after. You don't have the resources as of now, and then you want to get into theaterization at the same time. Now, how can you do
Okay,
theaterization when
okay,
you're
okay, Chandu.
talking of
Pertinent points, pertinent points. You know, you spoke about HAL. Let me ask Group Captain. Group Captain, exclusion of Hindustan Aeronautics Limited from the early rounds, does it raise concerns, or in the future there's going to be some lateral entry? I'm running out of time here. Please keep your answer short.
I'll keep it very short. Look, with HAL, we have had the apprehension right from the early times. I have seen it in the Hawk. I have attended at least a dozen of the meeting in the Hawk implementation, and there has been a problem. So there is a problem there. There is no doubt. If additional companies, which is directly handled, directly monitored, directly supervised, and its components being reviewed, certified, inspected by the OEM, if it is coming into the play, then absolutely I have no problem. If Safran tomorrow looks at all these issues, their factory is already at Hyderabad, which is taking care of the entire, OEM related, the overhauling, repair,
Yep,
MRO,
yep.
what we call it, maintenance, repair, and the operationalization. If it is looking after, it is possible. Kabir, remember, if we go for any other aircraft today, we will be in the same boat again after 15
Okay,
years.
okay. I agree. I agree with you. Group Captain, you know, in a yes or no, what matters to the IAF more? Is it timeline certainty or is it full indigenous content?
There is never a full indigenous component. You should never
So
go for
timeline,
the
so timeline
50%.
certainty is important, and you're of the
Yes.
opinion that it can actually be achieved. I've completely run out of time here. I'm going to have to, hard close this show. But many thanks, General, and many thanks, Group Captain, for talking to us. AMCA is not just another defense project. It's a test of whether India can move from assembly lines to intellectual property. Emmanuel Macron in the country today, they've already inaugurated a helicopter chopper assembly line from import dependence to now Indian dominance. If this works, India joins a very small elite club. But if it slips, the cost is not just financial, it's going to be globally strategic. That's all the time we have for you in this edition of In Your Interest. Top developments right on the other side.